Mississippi. But we like to get the party started early, usually on Good Things over on the Good Things Facebook group. It's a growing community of like-minded Mississippians and beyond. We have some people that who don't call Mississippi home that join us there every day.
Honorary Mississippians.
Honorary Mississippians. And I love it. If you're just into the good things, then that's where you belong. And every now and then I come across these questions that just get me tickled. And this one actually did, because it's twofold. Number one, you get to laugh at the actual answer to the question. But then number two, it gives you insight into what you're buying online. Okay, so, and it's funny and it has no merit, but the last thing that you bought from Amazon, so think back, what is the last thing you purchased? Even if you haven't purchased anything in a long time, think way back or here recently, or if you've never purchased on Amazon. That fits the bill too. But this is going to be your weapon of choice in a battle. And what you are fighting the enemy with, is the last thing that you purchased. This got me laughing because when I saw this, because I thought, mine are rollerblades. How appropriate. I would just slip those on and scoot away from the scene of said breakout, battle, fight, whatever, or zoop around in the middle of it and use someone else's weapon to cause mass destruction.
That's one thing I don't think I've ever seen in a big battle in a movie is a set of rollerblades.
Well, I think they should write those in effective immediately. It would be a lot of fun to see. Well, the Marvel character who was the fast one. What was his name?
Quicksilver?
Flash. Was it Flash? That's another.
Flash is DC.
Flash is DC. It's the
Quicksilver.
Okay. Is he the sister with the red hands?
Yes.
Okay. We were going to get there. I may not know their names, but I know they're...
In fairness, that's been played by two different people in Marvel movies now. So, yeah, it could be confusing.
It could be confusing. Well, this isn't confusing. There's some of you who are going to have great weapons of choice if you are caught in a fictitious battle using the last thing you purchase on Amazon as your weapon. And there's going to be some of you who are coming out on top. So Katie has sidearm brush for the Roomba. So she doesn't have the Roomba, but she's got the little sidearm brush to replace it with. That could be used.
Could be very irritating.
Jana's with me. She has running shoes. That's not rollerblades, but that's going to get us out of the scene of the crime. Jana has a bed frame. If you've got the muscle power, that's not a bad weapon of choice. So, Rhino, where do you fall in this?
I'm going to have to be strategic with mine because the last thing I got, I actually have it in arm's length. And if you're looking on SuperTalk.fm, it's this little pocket-sized moleskin notebook with blank pages. It's not even ruled. It was just on sale. So I was like, hey, I always need a notebook. So I have blank pages. I could maybe draw a map of the battlefield or write down people's last wishes. I don't know. I'm not going to be much good in a fight with the little big brown book.
I don't know. Maybe you're like, hey, how are you feeling? Can we work this out? Let me write down your worries. Can I take an order? Are you hungry? I can make a run to the local, brewery or whatever. How can we win this over? I think, wielding the pen to the paper has brought about a lot of probably ends to a lot of arguments and wars, I'd probably say, over time. You probably stand a better chance than you think.
Brad and Burns will give out some paper cuts.
Give out some paper cuts. Josh from Dennis says, the last thing I bought on Amazon was a seal for a Whirlpool dryer. I don't know if the seal, you could hide in the dryer until all the action was over, now that it's well sealed. I'll be fighting with melatonin gummies. That got me tickled. I'm in trouble. You know what? Depends on how you use that. Either you take your melatonin and you just find somewhere to sleep off the said battle, the fictitious battle, or you start passing them out like candy, and then all of your adversaries just go and take a good nap, and then you'll be in good hands. Jeff in Oxford says a hummingbird feeder. You'll be entertained. But, some of those, depending on, Jeff, which ones you bought, you put that on a long enough string and you whip it around like a helicopter and then you let it go like a slingshot. You at least, as long as you're a good aim, you can take out one. I don't know how many times it would survive you doing that, but I think you'd at least get 1 or 2 out of it. Oh boy, I'd be in trouble, which is just like the consensus of everybody. And there's 2 parts to this. Number one, you're getting tickled by thinking about actually going into battle. And when I think of battle, I'm thinking of like, the best movie scenes of like the 2 sides rushing together and then clashing in the middle, and you've got all these great weapons of warfare that people have, whether it's, their swords or their guns or their, cannons. And then you come running in with the last thing you bought on Amazon. And then
we just need you to describe the battles from the Lord of the Rings movies.
That's pretty much what went in my head. I can do it.
With mispronunciations and all, because Minas Tirith is going to be tough to get out.
That would never make it. No, the little short people who are angry looking all the time, and the cute elves with the luscious hair, with the bows and the sticks and the swords. Yes. And then you think you are the hobbit, the lowly person who's running in with a bottle of vitamin D supplements.
Or a box of pool filters.
Or a box of pool filters. The other part of this, I get tickled at what you guys are buying on Amazon. I mean, when you think about, it used to be you just purchased the big items off of Amazon. Now it's down to you're getting your vitamins and your supplements. You're getting leather dye, Alice in Oxford. Although
you're going to have fabulous fashion sense on the battlefield.
Jim and Hernando, fuzzy dice for my hot rod. I want to see a picture of the fuzzy dice. I almost feel like I wouldn't call you a liar other than I am saying that you were lying. I just love that. If you actually purchase fuzzy dice for your hot rod, I need photographic proof of that. But you could put those on your horse or whatever you're riding. Maybe you ride your hot rod into the battlefield, and you would be doing actually well. Lee from Florence, I actually bought a brush cutting machete last week, so I'm ready. Wow, Lee, I've got other questions to ask you.
I was just wondering. I was waiting. I knew we're in Mississippi, and hunting seasons are already upon us. So I was thinking there's got to be somebody that got a new knife or a machete or something that would be really purposeful on a battlefield.
Can you order weapons off of Amazon?
Oh, yeah. Just not all weapons.
But some weapons.
Right. Like, you can't hop on there and go, you know what? I want a bazooka.
Could you buy an axe?
Yeah, you could definitely buy an axe. You could buy all different lengths of axes.
Randy from Sotelo, you have a name brand garden hose, 100-foot or 100-foot water hose. Well, that could come in handy. Have you ever been hit with a water hose before? Got good length on it. It's got like that metal end to it before you put the head on.
Or if you know which hill they're going to come running down, you can tie it to a rock.
Oh, this is fun and useless. All right, what's the last thing you bought from Amazon? If you were going into a massive battle, that is what you're taking to fight your enemy. And I guess your spouse probably shouldn't be listening because then they know what you're purchasing on Amazon. But there you go. You can let us know. We've got that more coming for you coming up next. Not the YouTube. It's like the Walmarts, whatever. Be sure
all the tubes.
All the tubes. Just search tubes. No, don't do that. No. But be sure to subscribe. You can get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and, of course, the good things that are happening here. And we're having a good time. I just love when the text line blows up. You guys are engaging on the Good Things Facebook group, taking your mind away from whatever is weighing you down to an imaginary land where you're going to war. And your weapon that you have to use in said battle, fictitious battle. And in my mind, I'm going straight back to the Lord of the Rings kind of, grand Game of Thrones sort of
The silver lining is the orcs and the Uruk-hai did not have Amazon Prime, so you've already got a leg up on them.
You've got a leg up, but it depends on what the last thing you ordered from Amazon is. Some of you are in much better shape in a war scenario than others. However, we can work everything out to the good. So from Rhino's little notepad to my roller blades to your vitamin D supplements that you purchased.
Bobby in Hazelhurst has actual explosives, so I think we'll be okay.
Well, I saw that and
not tangerines.
Yes. So his autocorrect said that he bought a thing of tangerines. Well, you get hungry. You're going to need some. You can pass out your tangerines to help the rest of those who actually
Orange
have
slices
weapons.
after exertion take me right back to soccer practice.
For sure. And let's see, who else is on here? Johnny in West Point, floor mount CB or CB mount for your pickup.
So we'll be communicating.
We can communicate. I saw a radar gun over on. See, this is what I love about us Good Things family is the question posted as what you would take in to battle, and we have now just made it that we're all going to work together. We're going to pull all of our Amazon Prime purchases into one, and it's going to be for the greater good of us winning whomever this thing we're in the middle of.
Mike and Brandon has a 40-pound generator transfer switch. If nothing else, that'll be heavy.
So we can be behind it, right? Bubba from Meridian, not fair. I bought a bingo set. Well, you know what? We're going to have to take shifts, right? Your soldiers always go out there and they do their part and they come back and rest, and they're going to need a little downtime. So bingo night, it will be on at the campsite.
And Jim also sent in a picture of the fuzzy dice hanging from the mirror of his hot rod.
Good deal. Okay, I won't call you a liar anymore. I absolutely love it. And I love your hot ride. Can we take that into war? If nothing else, we'll look great riding into battle with our water hoses and our pool filters. And I saw someone else who mentioned vacuum bags, and I thought to myself, who has vacuums with bags anymore? Don't most of us now have the bagless vacuum cleaners? I mean, I know Dyson started it, but then everybody else sort of picked up on that trend.
It depends on if you've replaced your vacuum cleaner. I mean, if you still got one that uses bags that hadn't burnt out, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Have you ever vacuumed with bags?
Oh, yeah.
You would, yeah. Why are you
I've actually vacuumed with the monstrosity that is like all metal, and it has a airplane propeller motor in the thing, and the plug is about the size of a baseball, and when you plug it up, it's got an actual switch that clicks on or off, and there's no self-propelling. It's just the suction of that gigantic motor going into an unlined bag that you have to take and empty. Yeah, I've used the old school one. It's loud.
Well, it's loud.
But nothing would get up everything like that one would.
That's true. That's very true. I will just acknowledge that you were doing housework, and we will move on. It doesn't matter whether it's got a bag or not. Kudos to you who are vacuuming. I got tickled at Michelle, who said an American lit book. We can bore them to death with going into war.
Nancy and Brandon on the C Spire text line. I'm doomed. I bought red and white striped treat bags.
I like Tammy, who said I've got nothing. I haven't used Amazon. I can't ever remember, which I feel like there are some of you that out there who still just online shopping's not for you. You haven't bought into the Amazon craze. Hey, I think that's awesome. You just come support us. You bring your nothing to the fight. We will find a place for you. It will be on the hot rod with the fuzzy dice. Well, this was fun. And the conversation never ends over on the Good Things Facebook group, so we would love to have you there.